Activity has proven itself to be the number one driver of success in life insurance telesales, and you have full control over your activity. So, why don't most agents do the activity required to be successful in this business? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about call reluctance. Now, I'm very aware some agents just don't have the leads to call on, right? And that's because of a cash flow issue, which we covered in our previous video last week. So, for many, though, the reason they're not able to be successful in this business is it's just pure call reluctance.
How many people in this room experience call reluctance? Okay, everybody else is liars because everybody has call reluctance.
You would rather do anything else besides pick up that phone and make calls. And that's a common feeling, guys. So it's not something that you should be ashamed of. It's not something that you're alone in. It's something that everyone deals with, even the veterans, okay? This video is to help you overcome your call reluctance and get more activity and get more output using strategies and setups that we've seen work and I've personally used to increase my output in really my life and all of my business. So, we're going to talk about some hacks in a little bit, but first we're going to talk about your daily routine. And this is something that my partner Nick trains on a lot, and it's ingrained in our culture here and that we train on with our LOA agents, okay? Highly effective people have a routine. They have rituals, and that really helps to overcome call reluctance, okay? And you do these things not just in work, you do these things in life. So, some of these things you see right here, the right environment, your schedule, and setting daily goals. It sounds super simple, but there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye and just looking at these things. We're going to go through those right now, and then we're going to go into 3 hacks to get more activity and to overcome call reluctance, all right? Now, I know you're looking at some of these, and they may not compute with you, like, how is this going to help my call reluctance? But if you do all these things I'm going to talk about every single day, okay, you can't help but combat your call reluctance. And, it's all about being organized. And we find a lot of agents are just completely disorganized and not doing the same things over and over every single day, like clockwork. That's what it really takes here, okay? If you're disorganized, guys, calls are typically the last thing that you want to do because you'll make excuses and do other things first. Now, let's dig into this, all right? It's all about discipline. Everything in this business is about discipline. And if you have call reluctance, you don't have the discipline, and you need to build that discipline into your day and start, you may have a little bit of discipline. You may show up, right? But you may not show up and actually do the activity needed to make this business a resounding success for you. Okay. That's a piece of it, right? You got to work. That's the foundation. That's the lowest level. Okay. But the thing is, most agents don't have the discipline beyond that. But if you have the right environment, you prioritize your schedule and you set achievable daily goals, okay? You're building up your discipline. And that will help you overcome your call reluctance. So let's dig into this. So what do we mean by right environment? All right. If you're working out of your bedroom, guys, get out of your bedroom. That's number one. All right. Your mind will never be right if you are eating and sleeping and working in that same 12 by 12 box. All right. Get a dedicated space where you enter and it's go time. Okay. When you sit in the seat, right? You pull up, you sit in your seat. It is go time. You're a money-making machine as soon as you pull up to your desk. All right. Nothing else happens in that space. No gaming, no household stuff, no TV, no social media, right? You have a sacred space to build your business. And when you turn on your computer, you're locked in. You're absolutely locked in. That's what it should feel like when you get to your desk, okay? Nothing else should be associated with that space. We live in a world full of distractions. And when you know the number one key to success is activity, okay? And there's other things that you can do in that space, you're one glance away from seeing something else that you'd rather do, and you'll start procrastinating. Okay. So you want to make sure you're distraction free at your workspace. Also, make sure your computer is identical every day. You never want to be thinking about where your bookmarks are or how to get to a carrier application, what screen your CRM is on, what screen your quoter is on, what tab it's on, however it is your setup, right? It should become second nature. Being organized will make you more confident on your calls, all right? Also, before you turn your computer on for the day, make sure your desk is organized. It seems super simple, guys, but this has a direct effect on your call reluctance, okay? Take 1 minute to make sure everything is a fresh start from the previous day, okay? Clean your desk. All those coffee cups, the snack wrappers, all that stuff, get it all cleared out. You know, whatever you have on your desk, organize it out. You know, get the mail out of sight and everything kind of nice and neat. And I've said it before, a messy workspace is a messy business. Okay? You'll feel call ready. You pull up, as soon as you sit down in that seat, you're going to feel call ready. Everything's cleared out. You know where everything is on your computer, and you'll have less opportunities to get distracted. Okay? Because a lot of call reluctance is just being distracted and rather doing other things. Okay? Now, just understand this. Your environment has a direct effect on your call reluctance. Okay? If you struggle with call reluctance, take a look at your desk right now. All right? Are there any distractions? Do you have a feeling that when you sit in your seat for the first time in the day, do you get a feeling of familiarity, organization, and motivation? Like you're ready to go. It's go time, and you know you have this confidence as soon as you sit down in the seat, and this motivation. Okay, that's key to your environment. A lot of people think that your desk situation doesn't mean much. Guys, it means a lot, especially if you're having trouble making the calls. Get distraction free, be confident, have that feeling of familiarity, organization, and motivation as soon as you sit in your seat. Okay? So let's talk about schedule now. Every day should be identical. So create boundaries in your life so you know you're at your desk at the same time every single day. All right? Just starting to make calls is the hardest part when it comes to call reluctance. And getting that first dial or taking that first call, that is the most important piece to start your day. Okay? It's the most important thing you can do in the very beginning. So if you're disciplined enough to be at your desk at the same time every morning, it makes a difference. Okay? The morning light hits you the same. The chill or the warmth of the room is just familiar to you. The coffee kicks in, the scents kick in, right? You feel accomplished for getting the kids to school or hitting the gym or going for your walk, right? You've done all of that. You're ready to go, and you hop into your fully organized desk, right? And everything is familiar. Get this sense of comfort. So when you begin making calls, everything feels the same, okay? Now, when you get to your desk, all those elements that you feel, right? Because you're doing it at the same time every single day, that's going to trigger you to start making calls. Because once you start making calls, you know, after a couple of weeks at the same time every day with an organized desk, like those feelings that you feel, it's going to trigger your brain like, okay, it's time to start making calls. You'll do it unconsciously. And that is, you know, routine. You do it over and over again, and suddenly you're going to feel the trigger to start making calls. So you're not going to feel this way all the time if you have a strong routine and you have the same rituals every single day when you get into your at your desk. Okay, you know, sticking to a start time is so important. Okay, it's not just about making sure you get enough hours to work in the day, right? It's about getting a familiar flow. And another really helpful, simple thing that has worked for me and many others I've spoken to is to start your day by accomplishing a task that you don't want to do first thing in the morning. Okay. Hear me out on this. Okay. I know this is a life insurance telesales video to overcome call reluctance, but this has a huge effect on some people because we need to build up discipline. Okay. And if you're able to accomplish that one thing that you don't want to do every morning, it builds the foundation for your entire day. You know, for some people, that's working out. For some people, you know, we hear about ice baths and cold showers and things like that. But guys, there's a book out there. It's called Make Your Bed. It's by a U.S. Navy admiral. I first saw it when he gave this commencement speech at UT Austin a few years ago. And, he wrote a book. I read it. It's a quick read and it's a great message. As the title suggests, it all starts with making your bed in the morning. Hear me out, okay? Not just throwing covers over it, but doing it with intention and making it perfect, okay? So starting your day with an accomplishment, no matter how small, it paves the way to completing other tasks throughout your day, like making calls, okay? It's that first thing that you do that you accomplish that you don't want to do. Nobody wants to get up and first thing and make their bed. Do that every single morning, make it perfect. And even if you get your butt kicked on the phones for the day and you're feeling defeated, at least your bed is made and it's a reminder of an accomplishment. Guys, this seems so small and it seems so trivial, but it's a huge impact on people's lives. All right? Because we need to build discipline in our day. If you have call reluctance, you have a discipline problem. All right? So these small tasks are what starts building your discipline that will show up in your work. You have to come to terms that your daily habits affect your work habits. Okay? If your daily life habits are inconsistent, your activity will be inconsistent. If you procrastinate on life's small daily tasks like making your bed, you'll procrastinate on making calls. That's how it works. So I want to bring your daily life, and I want you to understand that it has an effect on your work life, a big effect on your work life. So once you start fixing your morning routine, you're going to start seeing differences in your daily life, okay? So be disciplined with your morning routine and start time, and some of that call reluctance is going to start easing. All right, let's talk about setting clear and achievable daily goals. So if you're struggling with call reluctance, try setting achievable micro goals, okay? Now, I'm not talking about monthly goals, weekly goals, daily goals, but even within your day, setting basic goals, okay? Something you're 100% in control of. Sales and annual premium, you have no control over, okay? Activity goals, you control. Developing skills, you can control. And that's what you need to focus on, okay? Once you base a successful day off of an achievable activity and learning something new that will make you better tomorrow, your call reluctance will get better. Having a specific and measurable activity target helps you focus, motivate, and track your progress, okay? So set some micro goals. Every time you hit these micro goals, success will build on top of itself, and it'll get easier to hit these every single day. So what do I mean by micro goals? Look, I'm not going to tell everybody what they should do, but set your own goals based on your own schedule, based on your own goals, okay? But here's some examples. 2 hours of talk time or 100 calls before lunch, okay? This will lead to a sale most days, but most importantly, your confidence and momentum for the rest of the day will snowball. You've gotten a hot start. You started out making those calls. You did the hardest part, is just getting started, and you already accomplished what most agents honestly don't accomplish, and you did it before lunch. And it wasn't so bad. You'll find out once you get to lunch. Your day's going to feel so much better. You're going to be motivated after lunch to go and hit it even harder in the afternoon. So that's one micro goal. Another micro goal, and what we do at Digital BGA, is we encourage agents to zero out your day at a glance task queue. So this means all your new leads, attempting contacts, follow-ups, lapsed policies have been dialed, and you know you're on top of every single lead and nothing has slipped through the cracks. That is really important that you have that, okay? Keep striving to zeroing out that call queue every single day. Okay, that's a micro goal, is to making sure, it's almost gamifying it, that you have all these numbers up here that you want to zero out. Okay, so these are very attainable micro goals that will build success. A lot of agents freeze when they see like this mountain of activity ahead of them for the day. If you can set a micro goal in your activity and simply just strive to hit that daily, it seems more like a hill to climb than a mountain, okay? But also don't forget about setting goals to develop and sharpen your skills, all right? Make it a habit to strengthen your weaknesses in this business every single day. So listen to 10 minutes of a phone call you made from the previous day so you can hear what you sound like. You are your own worst critic. You will make changes on your calls throughout the day based on what you just heard and how you sounded on the phone, what you said, things you could have changed, things you could have said better. pick up on things that, that prospect might have said to you and how you can respond better. That's really going to help. So take 10 minutes and just listen. Grab a cup of coffee if that's what you drink, and listen for 10 minutes to a call. So that's going to really help sharpen your presentation skills. Now, the other thing is you want to take 10 to 20 minutes as well to train on any sort of weakness that you have, any sort of skills you need to pick up. If you don't know your carriers front and back, start there with some of your carriers. If you need to go through your presentation and role play, start there. If there's a skill that you need, overcoming objections, tonality, anything like that, go consume some information every single day so that you are getting better every single day, no matter what happens. If you did your activity, you did your 20, 30 minutes when you factor in listening to the calls, you became better. Even if you didn't make a sale that day, you're in a better position. You will be better tomorrow, and you can feel good about your day. And guys, that's going to help, like just checking those things off, hitting those micro goals and getting that training in, right? That helps with call reluctance because you're accomplishing things and you're gaining this confidence. You have this success throughout the day, and it all adds up. Okay. All these things combined, from your schedule to the right environment and these micro daily goals, right? All of these things, they add up, and it moves the needle with building up your discipline. All right. And that is what you need to get more output in your day and get more consistent output every single day is discipline. That's really going to help with your call reluctance. When you are a machine, you're in the right environment. You are, your schedules, what your schedule is. You have these micro goals. This is kind of the foundation, guys. And remember, every single agent out there has call reluctance, even veteran agents. Everyone would rather go do something else, okay? But it's discipline that brings them to where they need to be successful. And a lot of agents just need to build their discipline up to overcome call reluctance, okay? So making these foundational improvements in your life and in your work will help you get more activity every single day. So really think about that part too, the part about in your life. The habits in your life affect how you are at work. So really think about that. Everyone's different. I can't give you examples because what you do in your mornings and your vices and what's going on in your head is different from everybody else. So all I can say is really look at how you are in your life and how that affects your business as well, because that really has something to do with call reluctance. Now, let's talk about hacks for more activity. Okay, so what I talked about was more foundational, and there's 3 things that I have done personally to get more activity and more output throughout over the decade I've been doing this. Now, these 3 hacks I'm about to mention have really helped me personally, and I do each of these. Okay, each of these are instilled in me, and I still do each of these every single day because I'm just like all of you. I get distracted. I do, I'm no saint over here, right? I have my own vices that I try and overcome. I have my own thoughts in my head that I need to overcome as well. So let's get through these 3 hacks to overcome call reluctance and get more output in your day. So number 1, get an accountability partner. Okay. Accountability in sales is so important. Any salaried salesperson is monitored. Okay. They're monitored for activity by their sales manager. Sales are monitored as well, but it's the activity that really matters. If there's no sales but high activity, that person just needs to be developed more. Okay. But if there's little activity, that person would be fired if they were at a job. Okay. And let's be honest, many of you watching this right now would have been fired if you were at a salary job. Okay. Guys, we're entrepreneurs. We control everything. Nobody's looking over our shoulders. Get somebody to look over your shoulders. It's powerful. Okay. So who is your accountability partner? Is it your spouse? Do you share your activity with your spouse? I know a lot of you will share your sales. How many sales did you make for the day? A lot of spouses will ask their partner that. If you don't share your activity numbers with your spouse, they're not really your accountability partner. Okay. I bet many of you would hang your head in shame if your spouse saw your activity numbers for most of the days that you're making calls. Instead, maybe try forming an accountability mastermind with other agents. Post all of your activity numbers, not sales, activity numbers to a shared spreadsheet or a shared chat, and really rally around each other. Just build a subculture of encouraging each other and celebrating activity. Even, plan meetups. Like I've seen several of these form at Digital BGA over the years, and they're very powerful. There's some group me chats. There's some other, you know, um, pods of agents that just get together. They share their activity numbers, and been going on for years. And it's really helped a lot of people, stay accountable and really kind of bring, kind of humanize the business as well, so you don't feel so alone in this. Okay. And guys, I'll share this with you. I personally had in a mastermind, an accountability mastermind, for over 5 years straight prior to Digital BGA. And we met every 2 weeks. 5 guys, everyone had 10 minutes on the call to talk about their biggest challenge and listen to feedback from the other guys in that group, right? And we give a brief update, talking about the challenge we talked about last week and what we did to overcome that and how it's working out, and then talk about the other challenge, right? It was rewarding seeing all those guys' growth over 5 years. Okay. And I grew as well. Okay. I highly recommend this, guys. This is the mastermind where they recommended that I start a podcast. I don't know if you guys remember the Modern Life Insurance Selling podcast back, probably 9 years ago, 8, 9 years ago now. And from there, it morphed into a book, the Digital Life Insurance book that I wrote in 2016. I would have never come up with that myself. It was people from my accountability mastermind that said, hey, Jeff, you should really look at this because I'm stuck in my own business. Okay. At the time, I was an independent agent. I'm stuck in my own business and I can't see anything but what's in front of me. But when you have people from outside, okay, I'm not talking your mentor, I'm not talking your trainer, your coach, whatever that is. But when you have people from outside that can really help you see the business from outside the blinders that you have on, right? It really brings freshness and ideas and really kind of gets you out of any sort of rut that you're in, okay? And to be open and vulnerable with people about the challenges that you're having, that's you'll get strategies and concepts and advice on things you can do to overcome those challenges. Everyone needs somebody to help them with the challenges they have. I have challenges every single day. And I ask people every single day, whom I think might be able to help me with those challenges. But if you have an accountability group, people that you meet with, and you can go through these challenges, and they may be on your same level. They don't need to be some big advisor, some big entrepreneur, like a lot of agents, you guys even watching this can share a lot of experience. When you are not in that person's head, right? They may not be seeing some things, and you can kind of pull them out from your experience, or you might have seen something work. Okay. Get an accountability group or a mastermind, form one. It really helps. Okay. And just go through your challenges, make it formal, make it quick. All right. And do this consistently. The next thing here I'll say is when it comes to finding an accountability partner, you may not want to do that. That might not be your thing. I get that. But I've seen a lot of agents who hire an assistant become a lot more accountable. Okay. So even a virtual assistant where you pay them $3-4 an hour, make part of your assistant's job a spreadsheet tracker of your controllables like talk time, dials, new leads taken, calls taken, time spent in the queue, right? Just knowing you have someone behind you, recognizing and tracking your every move will keep you accountable. And you're going to be able to see, if you see that every single day, kind of the trends of how much time you're spending in the call queue, how many dials you made, how much talk time you had, and you'll be able to correlate that to sales. Just having a virtual assistant do that. Look, if you're not doing the activity, you're not holding yourself accountable. That's what it comes down to. You do not have the discipline. You need to implement stuff in place to help get you there, okay? Doing something to be held accountable could be the boost you need. It might not resonate with you, but for a lot of people it did. It did for me. And I'm a better person, a better business owner because of the masterminds that I've been in. Okay. So on this next activity hack, it's what I think is probably the most important. And it's something that I've only picked up, recently. And that's associate winning with the effort itself, not the outcome. Studies show the more successful people in the world focus on effort, not the reward. They enjoy becoming better every single day. Okay? The hack here is to turn the effort into the reward. So access pleasure from effort. But how do you do that? Okay? It sounds kind of out there. I get that. Change how you view the reward. Okay? If it sounds ridiculous, right? To many of you, to find joy in making calls. That's what I'm saying here. But you're not finding joy in making the calls. I'm not saying that. You're finding joy in getting better with every single call that you make. Every single call is a learning experience, and you just became better. Okay? You're learning on every single phone call how to communicate with people more effectively, how to handle different objections or questions, how a certain carrier views a condition, and you're treating every conversation as a challenge to make you better overall. All right? Simply reframing what you think a successful call is and a successful day is can really help your mindset and activity, because most agents' definition of a successful call or a successful day is hurting them. Let me explain that, okay? A successful call, a lot of agents will say it's making a sale. That is not how you should see a successful call, okay? If it's making a sale, gaining a client, guys, making a presentation and getting a clear answer, a yes, let's move forward, or no, I'm not interested, or a very strong follow-up, right? That is a successful call. A successful call isn't when you make a sale. And this is where most agents get it wrong. If that's your definition of a successful call, you're failing the vast majority of the time. And that's going to chip away at your motivation, your drive, and your confidence. And that's ultimately going to affect your activity. Okay. I talked about this a lot internally. The agents that make the most money have the most talk time and get the most clear answers. Let me repeat that. The most successful agents make the most money, they have the most talk time, and they get the most clear answers. Don't let people string you along, okay? So reframe what you think a successful call is. If you got a clear answer, that's a success, right? If you got a no, that's a clear answer. You know what to do. That person you won't contact again, or you won't put as much effort into, and you can move forward and be more efficient to get to the people who are interested, okay? So if you learn something from a call, that's also a success. Every single no that you get, you should be learning from your calls. If you get a no and you just, you're in your head, you just get frustrated, defeated, that is a mindset thing that you need to work out. You need to figure out what you can do better on that call. What could you have done better? And kind of internalize that and put it into practice. All right. So that's what a successful call looks like. So what does a successful day look like? Okay. Let's talk about that. Many of you will tie it to annual premium issued, right? But that's not the main metric that we look at. A successful day is 3 to 5 hours of talk time and 200 dials in our agency. It could be different for you, but that's a successful day in telesales that will guarantee success if you can do that. You could be a below average presenter, and if you had 3 to 5 hours of talk time and 200 dials, you'll do better than somebody who has the best presentation skills but doesn't do as much activity. Activity trumps everything, all right? So a successful day should be based on activity, not if you make a sale. This is where agents get it completely wrong. They're associating a successful day with the reward, right? Not the effort. Celebrate when you hit your daily activity goals. You know that's going to turn into future clients and income for you, okay? If I were to choose between an agent who had 1 hour of talk time and $1,200 in annual premium issued, right? Or an agent with 4 hours of talk time and 0 sales, I take the 4 hours of talk time all day, every day, without a question, okay? Those 4 hours of talk time will result in more future business, right? You got more clear answers and you likely have some strong follow-ups that will result in sales. You got the no's out of the way, and you're going to be more efficient in the future in calling people who are more interested, okay? You're digging deeper into your leads. 1 sale in 1 hour talk time is not worth the same as 0 in annual premium and 4 hours of talk time. I take that every single day, okay? Once you understand that, and you can internalize that if you have if you hit your activity goals and you do that consistently every single day for the next year, you are going to become incredibly successful in this business. That's all it takes, okay? But you have to be able to associate pleasure, pull pleasure from the activity itself, the effort itself, not from the outcome. That is the biggest thing that changed everything for me, okay? Knowing that I had a successful day, even if I didn't make as many sales as I wanted, even now at Digital BGA, if I didn't get the outcomes that I wanted, if I did everything that my activity says I should do, and I did it, that is a successful day. I will go home, drink a glass of wine, feel good about myself, and be fully present with my kids because I know I'm not thinking about I didn't make any sales or I didn't get this deal or I didn't secure this opportunity, right? I can feel good about my day. Okay, so the last activity hack here, and most of you that have been with Digital BGA know what I'm going to say here. I say it a lot, and it's something that's been a huge benefit in my life, and I've seen it work in a lot of agents' life, and that's therapy. All right. At Digital BGA right now, we have a group therapy session going every other week with somebody who's helping agents get past the things that are holding them back. A lot of it is call reluctance. Okay. So let me talk through that. So we all know what we need to do to be successful in this business. That it isn't a secret, right? It's activity, and activity is easy to do and easy not to do. And that's the issue here. We all have a strong why. All of us do. I don't question anybody's why in this business, but that's not enough for most agents. There's something outside this business that's holding you back from doing what it takes to be successful. There's negative emotions you've developed attached to making sales calls. Something happened in your past that's holding you back, and you need to work through it. For some, it's deep-rooted from your childhood and may take some time. You need therapy for that, okay? It could be an undiagnosed mental health issue like anxiety or ADHD that can be treated. For others, it's more surface level, pertaining to our current habits, addictions, vices, circumstances, right, that you can work through. It could be your crippling fear of failing, and therefore it's easier to just not make the calls, right? I can tell you without a doubt, everyone can benefit from therapy no matter where you are in this business. You know what it takes to be successful. So why don't you do it? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you making those calls? If you don't know that answer, go to therapy, all right? It'll change your entire life. It has mine, okay? So I'll end it on this, guys, this quote, and I love this quote. Making calls may be hard for most of you, okay? But not making calls makes your life much harder. Easy has a cost. Choose wisely, right? That's it, guys. If you found this video helpful in your call reluctance, please give it a thumbs up and tell us why in the comments. This is a huge issue in the industry, and it's why agents fail out for the most part. They just don't do the activity required, and that's because of call reluctance issues. So you need to build, your foundation for your day, your daily habits, and the suggestions that I made today, some of those hacks that I've done to get more output out of my day. And if you've done something different, please post in the comments section. Please share it so we all can learn from it. If you have any questions, let us know, and we'll catch you on the next video.